Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. I want to answer a question in this video I get often of guys and girls that want to work overseas from the country that they're in. Usually guys and girls in Europe, US that want to work in other places. Well, you know what? It's very complicated these days to work in, just to go and work in another country. First of all, you need to make sure, one of the biggest issues is having visas, work permits, etc. The right to work. I know of several people that went to the US, they reached out to me, they wanted qualified guys, good guys, etc. They wanted to work in the United States. They went to security companies, etc. And of course the security company said, yeah, sure, we'll hire you. Most security companies will. But again, these guys never had the work permits, never had the visas. And again, if they're trying to get a work permit to do security guard work, armed security work, you know what, you're not going to get it. Because how the work permit system works is you have to have a special skill that the locals don't have. So there's plenty of guys and girls in the US that can work as security guards. It's not a skilled job. So if you're trying to get a work permit for that, chances are you're not going to get it. Things have relaxed a little bit under Biden administration, etc. But I think they're going to get tighter now because there's too many illegal immigrants within the US. So, you know what, there was somebody reached out to me recently. There was somebody in the UK saying there was work for media crews, etc. in the US during the last election period. And I said to the guy, I said, well, yeah, people can promise you work there, but are you going to have the legal right to work in the US? If you're caught working illegally, you're going to have big issues. And again, especially in the security business, because again, you need licenses. You know, virtually all states in the United States, as far as I know, you need the security business is licensed to some extent. So that brings on the second question. If you go to a country, you get the right to work, you're going to have to get the local security licenses. A lot of the local security licenses you have to do them in the local language. So again, you need language skills. As far as firearms are concerned, and again, from the US perspective, to work with firearms in the US, you need to be a resident or a citizen. In a lot of countries, just to own a firearm, you need to be a citizen. So again, these days, there's a lot of paperwork involved just to go and work overseas. And this is what a lot of people tend not to think about. A lot of people think they can just go to another country, be given a gun and earn mega bucks. Okay, that's the next thing. If you're going to countries to work like a local, you can expect to earn local rates, local money. And in a lot of places, the security business is not well paid. It's not well paid in Europe. So you think about if you're going into Latin America, you're going to be paid local money, which isn't going to be much when you're comparing it to what you earn in the US, UK, Western Europe, etc. Now, I know of people that's gone to other countries. I've done this myself. You go to other countries, you set up a business, etc., etc. Okay, one of the issues, and again, I generally use locals when we're going to other places, etc., but I have a trusted network. I know I've been approached by expats that's working in other countries, that's set up in other countries, saying to me they can provide me with services, etc. Well, generally they're not my first option. If I'm going to another country and I'm going to employ somebody in that country, I want locals. The trouble is with the expats, they're going to want expat money. So I'm always thinking of business. I'm thinking from my client's perspective. Okay, if I'm hiring a local expat, they're going to want higher money than a local company. The other thing is, if you're going to, how can I put it? Those people within that country, even if they've been there a while, are they accepted by the local community? Generally, they're still going to be looked upon as being an expat. Do they know the local language? Do they know the local customs? Do they know the local bad guys? Do they know the local traditions? So again, this is where just because somebody's been in the country, they have to be in a country a long time and they have to have assimilated to really understand that country and understand that environment. So this is where when I'm looking to subcontract, I'm generally looking for people through my trusted network, and I might talk to expats, but they're generally not going to be my first option. I'm going through my network and seeing who I can find. And the other issue, as I said, with all my stuff is, can I trust the people? So this is where a lot of people, everybody has this, how can I put it? Everybody has it in their imagination to the greater extent that they can just go to another country and earn big bucks. You can't do it. You're going to have to go there, as I said, sort out paperwork, etc., get the local licenses and try to get work. And you've got to remember, if you're going into a local market, you're trying to compete with local companies, people aren't going to be too happy if you're stealing work from local companies. The local security companies, if you go in and start taking their clients, they're not going to be too happy. If they're well connected with police or military or a division of licensing, you can have issues. In the United States, when I was in the state of Florida, initially when I got to US and afterwards, people were reporting myself, my company, to division of licensing all the time. Because why? Because we're not sharing the work. They were jealous we were taking clients, etc. In the end, division of licensing with me was like, okay, they knew me. They knew everything we're doing is legal, everything we're doing is above board. They used to leave me alone. But initially, they were barking at me all the time. And again, once you're dealing with government agencies, it can be a hassle. So the other perspective, if you get clients and you're traveling to other countries, as I mentioned about some company offering work in US where they never had the right to work in US, they never had the legal requirements, etc., no licenses, but they're telling people they had work in the US. If you're going to another country to work, then you need to be careful that you're not going to fall afoul of not having the local work permits, not having the local licenses. Generally, if I'm traveling with clients, this is where we push more for the low profile protective surveillance type security, or consultant, or we supply consultants, companions, rather than providing high profile security. And I've had people say they think they're going to be able to go to other people's countries and provide high profile security. Dark shades, white shirts, black ties and suits, etc., and drive around in a motorcade, go hire some SUVs, and they're going to escort their clients around. You know what, I tell you for a fact, if you was doing that in the United States, just high profile security, the chances are you're going to get hassled by the cops. If they find out you're a foreigner, they're going to be asking a lot of questions. First thing, do you have weapons? Do you have this? Do you have that? Who are you working for? Do you have the right to work in the country? Are you licensed? You know what, you'll get your ass thrown in jail for working unlicensed to start with. If you're going to other countries and trying that thing, and again, I've had people on some of the online courses we do, we throw out some assignments and some scenarios, and people think they can do that in some European countries, where I know for a fact, if you're a foreigner going around playing bodyguard, high profile bodyguard, you're going to get your ass thrown in jail very, very quickly. So this is where working overseas, I spend most of my time working in other places, but I've been doing this a long time, and I'm very, how can I put it, I understand things. And if you're looking to move and work overseas, do your research and don't expect to be earning big bucks to start with. If you're traveling with clients, then again, do your research and be assured you're not going to fall afoul of the local work laws, right to work laws, licensing laws, etc. On that point, I think in the woke wonderland of the United Kingdom at the moment, I think even the SIA are telling foreign security guys coming in short term with clients that they need to be licensed, because they don't want foreigners working unlicensed in the country. You know what, that sums things up. But UK, as I said, is very much a totalitarian woke wonderland at the moment, but I don't live there, I'm not going there, so such is life. But back on track, wherever you go, make sure you do your research and be careful what you're doing. You don't want to end up in jail in an emerging market. It would be an experience, but not an experience you really want, right? So in the meantime, follow me along on social media. I have an array of books up on Amazon that talk about various aspects of the security, close protection business, kidnap and ransom, etc. And we also supply a wide range of security consultancy, risk management services, and security services, and we specialize in the emerging markets. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have a conversation with serious people. If you waste my time, I'll just hang up on you. So in the meantime, be good, stay safe, and as always, try to stay out of trouble, even though that can be very difficult for some people.